Haitian Rara and Voodoo Music by Vic Hernandez and Aaron Fairbanks. Rara is festival music. It has a distinct tinny sound, has highly rhythmic ostinatos that are created by the percussive instruments and brass instruments. It has African influence, such as the use of call and response, rhythmic drumming, as well as European influence supplied by the brass instruments and harmonies.
First impressions of Vodou ritual music. I'm sure we're all familiar with the many stereotypes and hysterical dramatizations of Vodou, such as dolls with pins, hexing one's enemies, and evil-seeming rituals. These are not accurate depictions of Vodou, and we'll discuss that more later. Linked to this slide is a documentary filmed from 1947 to 1951 in Haiti, and listening to the music, one can hear that Vodou rites use a heavily percussive, intricately rhythmic musical style, accompanied by call and response singing. The specifics of instrumentation and rhythmic patterns are highly variable, which I will also discuss later. Vodou as a religion fuses elements of Roman Catholicism with ancient beliefs originating in West and Central Africa, but the rites are highly dependent upon music, which itself has few European elements.
Haiti currently has a population of 7 million people. It was originally colonized by the Spanish, then given to the French in 1697. From 1971 to 1804, the Haitian slaves led a revolution against the colonizers. They succeeded. Because of this, they became the first independent country in the Caribbean. The official language of Haiti is French. However, most people speak Creole, a mix of European languages. The country is very poor and suffers from natural disasters such as earthquakes, floods, and hurricanes. It also is one of the most politically corrupt nations in the world. The government constantly mistreats the system and the people. All Haitians are African, however, lighter-skinned people are looked at as wealthy and powerful, in contrast to South Africa, where lighter-skinned mixed people aren't seen that way. Musical characteristics of Rara. The instruments used are bamboo trumpets, tin horns, hand drums, kes drums, metal trumpets, and tin rattles. The roster consists of the Met owner, who makes a promise to the spirits to organize a Rara. The Colonel, I suspect is how it's pronounced, the director, dispels evil spirits and purifies the space for the band to play. The Majo John throws batons, dances. He represents the group's spirit of interest. The Reine, queens, are women who wear dresses that parade, dance, and collect money.
Musical characteristics of Vodou. The central instrumentation of Vodou rituals is a battery of 3 drums, known as the manman, segon, and the boula, as well as a struck iron idiophone known as the ogan. The 3 drums are led by a master drummer. The hungan or mambo, priest or priestess, leading the rite will use one of 2 types of rattle depending on the rite, and he or she may also be the lead vocalist, or leave that to an ongénicon, a soloist. The core set of drums may be supplemented by a bass or tambourine, both of which are low-pitched frame drums which keep slow pulse. The response part of the call and response singing is performed by Vodou initiates, who also dance. As you can see from the chart on the side, courtesy of the Garland Encyclopedia, the exact nature of the drums is highly variable depending on the, quote, nation of the loa, or spirit being invoked, as is the rhythmic structure. Regardless of the exact meter of the ceremony in question, Vodou music is highly rhythmically intricate and cyclical, though the master drummer will at some point play a casse, which is in rhythmic opposition to the rest of the percussion, and is used to facilitate spirit possession. According to the Garland Encyclopedia, quote, A master drummer is attuned to the kinetics of the ritual. When he sees the onset of possession in an adept, he plays a casse to bring the spirit fully to the adept's head. The structure of the master drummer's casse is oppositional to the structure of the main pattern. The effect is one of displacement within cultural considerations in Vodou. As mentioned before, Vodou is a syncretic religion based largely on traditional African beliefs, with a veneer of Catholicism laid on top, a relic from colonial occupation when traditional religions were suppressed and persecuted, thus being driven underground. Some of the Catholic elements include the name of the creator god Bon Dieu, derived from the French Bon Dieu, or good god. The Loa spirits became ranked as saints and are thought to be the means through which humans contact the divine. These Loa are divided into distinct groups or nations, each with a different purview and each requiring different musical elements for contact. Spirit possession is a major component of the religion and is regulated by music.
Rara is seasonal festival music that begins after Haiti's Mardi Gras. The bands in these festivals are tied together by voodoo temples or families. This music mimics military, government, and royal hierarchies. It could be looked at as pointing fun or protest. The colonel's whip has spiritual significance. It purifies the secular space where the band plays. During the Rara, the colonel disperses spiritual charms for religious purposes. The Majo John honors important members of the group and spectators, such as recognizable figures in the community or exceptional members of the band. The musical texts include elements that are topical, critical, and elusive, such as issues about government problems. The ritual part of the Rara connects issues of life, death, and rebirth.
Connections to the West. Todo Bicenth, who lived from 1934 to 1994, was an actress, singer, songwriter, and composer, born in Haiti, who left at an early age to pursue acting studies abroad. During her life, she founded the theater company Les Griots, the first African theater company in Paris. More relevantly, she became a huge champion of Haitian music abroad. Her compositions featured a fusion of more Western-style lyricism with the traditional voodoo rhythms and sacred music, which was at the time prohibited. She also used her music to draw attention to the lives and struggles of working-class and rural Haitians. In the linked video, she sings Day, a song of mourning written for the children of Haiti. If you listen, beneath the mournful singing, you will hear drumming and chanting, very reminiscent of a Vodou rite.
Sidney Guillaume is a Haitian-American composer that ties his music to his heritage. His piece Blogodope uses nonsensical syllables that sort of act as percussion or ostinato. His influences are from voodoo and Rara music. The music has lyrics containing Haitian Creole. It entices the audience to just dance and have fun. Singing this piece is very challenging. Pop music in relation to Rara and Voodoo. A Magnum band wrote a song named Liberté that contains Haitian Creole language, a Rara type ostinato rhythm, brass, and has the signature Caribbean sound. The Jet X wrote a song named Te Extraño. It has Latin influence and uses Spanish lyrics instead of French Creole lyrics.
¡Sabor! Te extraño como se extrañan las noches.
Bokeman Experience wrote a song named Quem Pasote. It has voodoo influence, an underlying rhythmic ostinato, Haitian Creole chant between later and the rest of ensemble influences. The Taboo Combo wrote a song named Mario Mario. The song contains Haitian Creole. It has island influence. The rabar influence comes with the use of brass and percussive instrumentation. Review questions. True or false? Haiti is the first independent nation in the Caribbean. True. Complete this statement. The Colonel's whip, A. casts spells, B. honors important band members, C. purifies the secular space where the band plays. C. Purifies the secular space where the band plays.
Which of these statements is true about Vodou culture in Haiti? A. They put hexes on people. B. They use dolls to torture. Or C. Neither A nor B are true.
Are true. C. Neither A nor B are true. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation.